Thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Punch. What's the story?
Yeah, I have the story of the 10 banks who violated the CBN's rules. They say regulatory agencies responsible for overseeing the activities of deposit money banks in Nigeria have sanctioned 10 banks for violations of foreign exchange guidelines and other regulatory offenses. And they listed some of the banks. I'll just list the banks and the fine, because they are meant to pay fines. So they said Zenith Bank is part of them. Zenith Bank is meant to pay 427 million as fine. Access Bank, 300 million. Stanbic Bank has 229 million. And they have GTB has 188 million. Fidelity, 30.11 million. FCMB, 24.15 million. Sterling, 9 million. And then First Bank. They have a lot of banks there and they are fine that they are meant to pay. And they said that Nigerians should just still calm down, that CBN is saying Nigerians should calm down, that its commitment to the stability of the country's financial system, highlighting that regular stress tests are continue to be conducted to identify potential vulnerabilities in banks. Everybody should just relax that they are on it.
Okay,
no wonder that was why they've been, publishing that they're making so much profit, not knowing that they were doing it through other ways.
Okay, the federal government plans to allocate 25% of revenue from the proposed development levy to the Student Education Loan Fund. There was a bill that was proposed, and the bill stipulates that companies, excluding small and non-resident companies who are liable for taxation bill, will pay 4% of their revenue to the federal government. This money would then be used for student loan. Instead, for the 2025 and 2026 tax years, the levy will be set at a 4% rate, followed by reduction to 3% from 2027 to 2029, and a further decrease to 2% in 2030 onwards. The bill is imposed on the accessible funds profits from all companies chargeable to tax under chapters of the Act. This is good because many companies now will know that 4%, because I know China does it. I think it's even 7% of your revenue or something goes into the federal government. So they want to put some money to the company accounts in China. My husband was trying to do it sometime. He just moved 7%. He said, eh? So that is not a new law in many countries. Moving on quickly now to Vanguard. Federal government Labour agree on how to crash transport fares and food prices. Sanwo-Olu, Anyoku, Oshoba, others eulogize in Wanyanwu. And tragedy in Jigawa, petrol tanker explosion kills over 147. Okay,
so I have the story of the Labour agreed on how to crash transport fares and food prices. They said the federal government and organized Labour agreed on modalities to crash transport fares and prices of the essential commodities, especially foodstuffs. They said they also had a meeting and they said they're going to summon state governors to ensure that the 70,000 minimum wage will fully be in place this October. They also said that the government promised to release over 2,000 compressed natural gas conversion kits, and also they're going to release 45 CNG buses to Labour to complete the 90 earlier promised organized Labour. And also, it also promised to incorporate Labour into the Economic Council. So Labour will participate and monitor economic policies of government instead of government throwing policies at Labour and Nigerians that may result in agitations or protests. So they will start having meetings with them so that all of them will be taking part in the economic decisions of the country at the same time, so that there won't be protests and, and all of those things. So I think it's a very good thing to do.
The Nigerian Tribune, let's find a story we've not taken. Ekiti Assembly endorses Oyebanji for second term. Agbakuban, Right National Assembly, says EFCC is unconstitutionally established. Prices may go higher in 2025 if farmers are warning on that. Reps want reversal of cost of petrol cooking gas. And it is all fake news. Akpabio debunks impeachment rumor. Okay, which story?
Okay, so I have the Akpabio story, very funny one. So according to the Tribune, rumors had come out that they were trying to impeach the Senate president. Also, the rumor had said that the DSS had taken over the National Assembly premises to prevent plans to impeach officers from continuing. The Senate president, in his usual comical manner, responded saying, "This is fake news. It is fake. I hear that they use AI to do some of these things just to drive traffic. I hear they pay them online for that. And the senators were wondering how the news got out. He said, which committee do we refer this fake news to now?
AI committee.
And he was still laughing, you know. So that's basically what...
Impeachment of who? Who was impeaching?
They wanted to remove the Senate president according to the rumor.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so people were looking forward to it. He said, it's fake news. I don't even know how to describe these people. There's nothing near that they will not, that there will not be. You know, we have agreed that it is an uncommon Senate, and the Senate president continued with his business. So there's no reason to even speculate that there will be a change of leadership. The idea that this will happen is fake news.
Okay, so I have renowned lawyer, Dr. Olisa Agbakoba, and also former president of the Nigerian Bar Association, has drawn the attention of the National Assembly to constitutional issues related to law enforcement agencies in Nigeria and factors inhibiting the government's objective of abolishing corruption. So he's written 2 separate letters to the Senate and House of Reps October 14th on EFCC, and also it's on EFCC is unconstitutionally established. Anyway, let me just see if I can read just parts of the letter. He says, I write to draw attention to certain constitutional issues. As you're obviously aware, the fundamental objective of government is to abolish corruption, but from my observation, there is no harmony among law enforcement agencies on corruption. They all appear to be working at cross purposes. He says that this has been confirmed by the Supreme Court. Anyway, long story short, you know, he also referred to the fact that states, you know, have become aware and are taking the steps towards, you know, highlighting the fact that EFCC as a body has been unconstitutionally established, and so it would be good for our representatives, our legislators, to sit down and look at this going forward. So I'm saying this one that we are coming here at EFCC, left, right, and center. Is it that we don't want an institution that goes after corrupt
money laundry,
you know?
Yes.
So let's see where this will take us.
So prominent Nigerians, including Governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, and many other prominent Nigerians, yesterday paid glowing tributes to the Igbo leader, Dr. Emmanuel Iwuanyanwu, at his service of songs yesterday. Our governor expressed that Iwuanyanwu's life was a testament of the power of hard work, education, and commitment, that he was indeed a man of passion, boundless energy, and a true leader, not only in Igbo, but also for the whole of Nigeria. He said the governor also highlighted Iwuanyanwu's significant contributions to various sectors, including business, media, youth, and development. So, I mean, there were lots of other people were there. We had quite a Mr. Sam Amuka, as a former, the publisher of Vanguard newspapers, and so many others were all there. So it was an interesting night of tributes to a great leader in the Southeast. Another story in the Tribune. Let's move on quickly to the New Telegraph. AFCON qualifier fiasco. It's a lie. We didn't apologize to Libya, AFG clarifies. Standing more increased circulatory issues, says study. Traditional rulers critical of national stability, says CDS. Fund to eliminate complex check-in procedures at airports. And Cardoso, IMTO's funds remittances grossed $600 million last month. Okay.
So I have the Libya fiasco before. According to this, our New Telegraph, there was a mistake mistake by some Libya reporting agency called the Libya Observer. They did a misleading headline saying Nigeria had made a call to them, to their whatever government they have, an eastern and the western area government, and they said that we apologize. Nigerians provoke further. But immediately, our Minister for Foreign Affairs, Mr. Yusuf Tuga, said that no, he's according to his special assistant on media and communication, said yes, there was a call, and this call was to, you know, ensure that we were giving the fuel that we needed and the hostage that we were being held and Abrak lifted so that we could come back home. Yeah. And that during that call, there was no time that we were in any way apologetic. But I know that, I think that, you know, I said these Libya people, they are the petty of petties. So the reporter, maybe to sell, maybe that's what Libya citizens are eating now. That's what they're showing now. So I had to tell them that we had to beg to leave Abrak. Because I don't understand why this even made headlines. why this is even trending, why a journalist in Libya will find this worthy to write that a sovereign nation that they held their citizens had to beg to leave. But our minister have said, because I just thought
beg
what?
Giant of Africa.
Beg who?
Beg.
People don't want
a giant. Look at them.
So, well,
they know where to support
said that
Yes.
we have called them and they had to let us go. The CAF has also written to them.
That's what I want to hear.
And the CAF disciplinary committee will sit next week to look into that their behavior.
We are looking we are waiting for their suspension.
Now CAF I they wait.
Okay, so the final story is from the aviation sector. So the managing director, we like it when women lead. The managing director of the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, Mrs. Olubumi Kuku, has emphasized the continuous improvement of the security protocols as top priority in her own tenure. She has explained that FAN's determination to adopt advanced security that will protect passengers and streamline airport experience, because I have been to the airport recently and I know that it's still, coming out is easy, but leaving sometimes can be quite hectic. So she, according to the report, says that she's going to find a way to ensure that FAN is going to be focused on making the airports more passenger-centric by improving customer service, eliminating complex check-in procedures, thereby reducing passenger facilitation time and enhancing airport facilities. We're looking forward to this because you are now leading FAN, and we're hoping that as we come in, when you get into the airport, there's always all these hecticness and all that you have to stand in line for so long. But there should, hopefully, with technology, this should reduce. And people can check in without having to be there physically.
You should ask your AI people
to support them.
Yeah.
That is all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. When we come back, move on to our hot topic of today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.